Okay, hello everybody, welcome to my channel. You're ready for another fantastic adventure. Except this adventure is going to be a little different. No hiking on Iceland or beach hopping in Panama. This time it's a car project. So I got my car here. It's 12 years old. Had it for 10 years. It's been a great car. I love it. I'd like to keep it for another 10 if I can. Unfortunately, it has a cracked frame. A rear subframe is cracked. There's no rust. So I looked on YouTube and saw videos, looking for videos about how to fix it, if you can weld it. Everyone shows videos of it rusted out. But mine is not rusted. My car has no rust on it anywhere. Kept it clean. It's been 5 years in Texas, but the years it was here, it's always been washed clean with salt. There's no rust on it. So I took it to one shop to try to get it welded, and I think that guy actually stole it for a week. And I got it back because then they said no, they can't weld it. Called a few other places. Nobody wants to weld a frame because we live in the world of snowflakes and nobody can be held responsible for the things they do. So nobody wants to be responsible for their weld. So then I called a few places to see if somebody would replace it, the subframe. And I'm like, people were like, oh, I don't work on Mercedes. Like it's got different bolts or something. I don't know why I don't work on a Mercedes. So just like everything else I do, I'm going to do it myself because I can't find a reasonable person to do it for me. So that's going to be my video. So I thought, well, this is a good time to start videoing. If I video this whole project beginning to end, maybe somebody else, because videos I was watching about it, everyone said, it's a common thing for these cars. You can tell it cracked where there's a weld, so it's a manufacturing defect. So there's a lot of these cars out there with this problem. So maybe if I make a video, it'll help somebody else. Maybe I'll make this video and it will turn out to be a huge failure and somebody else will say, yeah, I'm not doing that myself. Or maybe it will work out really good and I'll be like, oh, that wasn't so bad, and somebody else will watch this video and it'll give them enough encouragement to try it themselves. So here we go. I'm gonna land on the floor of my garage. This is what I got. I got my car and I got this garage. My little garage here. And I got one little red box of tools. I got some jack stands somewhere around. So I'm going to try to do it. The crack is right under there. It's hard to get to. I tried to weld it once, but I couldn't really get to it, and I'm not a very good welder. So it lasted for a while until I hit the brakes real hard one time, and I can feel when it cracks, you can feel the back wheel flexes a little bit. So when you hit the brakes, the car, you can feel it when it cracks. And so I hit the brakes real hard one time and it cracked my crappy little weld. It wasn't no good anyhow, but it held I drove for a month like that. So anyhow, I think I found a used one online. I'm not going to buy it yet because because it's $500 or maybe $600 for a used one, and I don't want to buy it, figure out I can't do this, and then have wasted $500 or $600 buying it. So I want to pull the car in here, see that I can actually remove it, and then buy a new one. Or maybe when I remove it, I'll see, oh, well, this can be welded easily, and I can maybe even take it and get it welded by a professional welder. So I want to remove it before I buy the new part. So that's the plan. So I'm going to bring you all along on this fantastic adventure. Okay, I just got to figure out what parts to video and how to video it so that it's not boring and you get the most information for the job. So here we go. Trying to figure out the best position for the car because it could be in here for a long time. This might take me a week. Nah, it's going to take 2 weeks at least. If I can get it out of there in a week, it's probably take a week to get the new part. But it could take 2 months, 6 months. I don't know how long. Could be here a while. So I want to make sure I got plenty of room getting in and out of here. This thing all tore apart, plenty of room. I think I can move the motorcycles out of my way when I'm working on that side. Most of the work, it's the rear subframe. Most of the work will be done on the back. So I pulled it up forward far enough. So I got plenty of room back here to work, but still, enough room to walk around the front. I think that's a good spot. I think we're ready to get started. Once I pull the wheels off, it's going to be where it is. Or hopefully not for 6 months when I get a tow truck to haul it out of here and scrap the thing. We'll see how it goes. Need another camera. Before I jacked it up. You think I'd have thought of that. We'll make do. Okay, let's see if we can get our first glimpse of the cracked subframe. The lighting in this garage is terrible. I really should get some lights to help with this
project. Yeah, oh yeah, you can see it right here. You can see when I tried to weld that little crappy popcorn weld there. And that's where it's cracked. It's cracked, you know, on all sides. Probably can't see it over there. You know what looks like rust is actually my weld. I mean, the rest of the thing, I guess there's a little bit of surface rust there. I might get it out of there and figure out it's worse than I thought with rust, but I don't think so. I mean, in general, this car is pretty rust free. So, all right, so I'm gonna have to take a minute and just figure out what to start tearing into, and I'll catch you up when I'm ready to start the next step. Got it on jacks and wheels off. I decided I should disconnect the battery because I'll be leaving like the doors open, trunk lid open. I'll just end up killing the battery. So, plus I think any major project working on a car, you should probably, you know, disconnect the battery. You never know if you pinch a wire and short something or whatever, you know. So I didn't drag that light over. This car. Light. Okay, yeah. So I'll just pull the negative terminal off. It should be good. Which is right here. Loosen. Pull it up off of there. And let's see, I should put something. That's pretty good. I think. I'll make sure it doesn't touch accidentally, and then it'll be on when I think it's off. I think that'll be good having it tucked in there like that. Okay. Project at hand. Okay, I'm trying to figure out just exactly what needs unbolted from the car to get this thing to drop down. First thing I'm seeing is the exhaust. Looks like I definitely gonna have to unbolt the exhaust from right there. It's right in front of it here. It's an inverted Torx. I don't even know if I have any inverted Torx. I might have to buy a socket set for that. But yeah, looks like the exhaust from here back is going to have to come off. That'll be the first thing. And I'm trying to see how this thing's even bolted on. It looks like there's a inverted Torx here. This is the subframe here. There's one here. I'm going to assume, you know, both sides are the same. Got those two. It looks like the spring will just come right down with the whole unit. The shock, I saw there's two bolts in the trunk. I'll show you when I get to that. Just two nuts in the trunk that you take off, and that should drop down with it. So maybe once I get the exhaust off, I get those two bolts for that off, and then maybe I'll be able to see a little more. I'm trying to see what's going on up here where the front of it is. It looks like, you know, somehow right there. I don't know. I might have to take the plastic piece off and see. You know, that can't certainly be the bolt that holds it all on. That's too small. But maybe that's a bolt that, see, underneath that, maybe. So I'm going to start with the exhaust. Get the exhaust out of the way. Maybe get this plastic piece out of the way. But I think if I get, I'm probably going to have to pull some brake lines off. Here's the emergency brake cable, looks like. And the brake line here That kind of sucks. Probably might have to, take it off here. Probably be the easiest place. Get on the caliper because, if I got to break the line, I'll have to bleed it either way. So that's probably the spot to do it. But brake lines, emergency brake line, shock, exhaust, and these 4 bolts that hold the thing. Let's get this plastic thing out of my way. And I might not get it out of the way if I got this jack stand on it. I'll unbolt it, move it enough, I think. So yeah, this might not be too bad. Okay, let me get prepared for this. Let me find some. That might all be all I can do today. I might have to stop and get some inverted Torx, but let me see if I got some. Okay, so it turns out I do have some E-sockets. They're the cheapies from, Harbor Freight or wherever. I'm no regular full-time mechanic, nor do I want to be. So, yeah, got a socket. Let's see if my trusty old Makita can break these things or not. Ooh, I bet that was loud. It was loud to me. Makita isn't budging it. I might want to put a little WD on there just to, it's not super rusty, but maybe some WD. Okay, I just noticed that this side doesn't come apart right there. Only this side comes apart there. So I'm going to take it apart farther up. Take it off up there. Let's see if I can even get up. Yeah, that's where I'll have to get it. There. So, okay, I'm prepared for that. Okay, I'm slowly getting these bolts loosened. The Makita did a little bit on this one once I cracked it loose, but this one I'm seeing pieces of the exhaust pipe breaking off once I do it, so I'm hoping I'm not opening a can of worms here that's going to cause me to need a new exhaust pipe, which I think I might be doing. But, got this one. I think this one's loose enough the exhaust will come off. Maybe. Can you see? Well, let me keep cranking on this one. Goes like a little bit at a time. But, need to get another 1/4 inch or so on that bolt. Where it's loose enough. Okay, I managed to get those loose enough that I got them off. You see the clamps are off the actual pipe. So now I'm move it this way. The next piece of the exhaust would be this bracket here. It's been years since I've taken an exhaust off, but what I remember, this just pops off of here. It has some kind of socket head on it. I'm sure this just pops off. Actually, this might just pop off. Yeah, it pops off right here. Let's see. Okay, so these two, pop them off, and then there's another one right there on each side. And this should come down, so let me set the camera up. So when I pop them off, you can see it coming down. Okay, I thought there might be a trick to get these, these rubber things off. Turn around here. These rubber boots that hold the exhaust. It's like this one. I push on it as hard as I can. I was prying with a screwdriver. Can't get it off. Thought there might be a trick to it. Did a YouTube video search for like Mercedes C300 exhaust removal and couldn't find a single video about how to remove the exhaust. Everyone says they cut the muffler out, straight pipe, but all this stuff. Nobody shows how they did any of it. They just show it done. So yeah, YouTube failed me on that one. All right, I'm gonna figure it out. I'll let you know what I find out. Okay, I figured it out. And it was so easy that I put it back on so that I can film taking it off. Oops. Get the angle. You're gonna be able to see what I do. Okay, freaking channel locks is what I have laying under here. That's what I got. So, can you see that? Put a pair of channel locks on here and pried it off. Like, grab a hold of it and pry the thing right off. Came right off. So, yeah, that was easy enough. Slide that out of my way. Do 3 more. Let's try this one. Let's see. It's hard to know what the camera is able to see. While I'm actually doing it. It's hard to get almost just on my camera. So. Alright, I'll start out like this. And I'll find out when I go edit the video if you really see anything. There we go. Put the pliers on like that. Pry it off. At some point the exhaust is going to fall on my face. So. Okay, that one's off. It's still hanging there. Okay. Alright. Okay. Let me resituate it and do the back tip. Okay. Pry on that thing. I'm getting a cramp on my knee. I'm holding up on the exhaust because I'm pretty sure it's going to fall. Let me get this off. Okay. There you go. That's how I get them off. Well, it's not falling. Not sure why the exhaust is still there, but I got one more to do, so I'm not gonna Not gonna force it to fall yet. Got one to do over here. Okay, let me get that last one off and we'll see where we're at. Okay, I figured out why it comes apart right here. Because you can't get it out in one piece. It's like these muffler things go way up under there. So you gotta take one side out at a time. So let me get that clamp there, and then this little thing that holds the two together. Get that off. And then ready to come out. I got it though, it's just hanging there. Okay, came down. I got it laying here. See it laying here. I took that clamp off there, but that didn't come apart for some reason. Like it's rusted together. Well, let me slide it out. Slide it out here. Let's see. Let's see what we got. All right. So there is the back half of the C300 exhaust. This one, it was like kind of breaking apart. And the lighting. I really need to get some lights for in here if I'm going to do this. Yeah, this was breaking apart. Let's take the clamp off this one. I don't know why that one and not that one. But I don't know if I can get it back together. Okay, my next step is to unbolt the drive shaft because that's going to have to come off too. And look at this. This is like some kind of rubber drive shaft bushing. I've never seen anything like that before. I mean, I'm not a regular mechanic. I'm a work on 1965 Army 2.5 ton truck kind of mechanic. Not a modern vehicle mechanic. But it's kind of crazy though. Never heard of rubber bushing. Well, I don't know if that makes it less vibration in the drive shaft or something or what, I don't know. But yeah, so we'll take these, I guess all of these bolts off. You know what, maybe just these ones. I think, yeah, because that one doesn't look like I'll need to take it off. Yeah, maybe these three, take them off, and then this plastic thing. I think there's just a couple bolts there. Even if I just take these end ones and I can push it down. So okay, let me see. Okay, took those three bolts out. It's not coming apart. What the heck? Well, it's not coming apart. I guess I'm gonna take these three off, and I don't know, I think maybe these three will take the drive shaft off of this. I thought these three would take all of this off of the rear end, but it's not coming off, so let me take these three off and see what happens. I take these three off, see if the drive shaft comes up. Okay, I figured out, probably could have just had the original three bolts off because I took the other ones off and it still wasn't coming apart. And what I did was I just hammered on it with a screwdriver to get it to come apart like that. And so it's still like not dropping. Oh, there's like a spline in there. So well, now whenever the rear end drops down, that'll come apart. So that's good. So that's ready. Good to go. Okay, I think that's going to be it for today. Tomorrow, you know, take these plastic things off and see what I got up under there. and then maybe take the brake line. I think at this point it might just be brake lines and brake lines in the 4 main bolts. These 4 main bolts to hold this thing up. To drop it all in the 2 bolts for the shock absorbers that are in the trunk. But those are easy. Just 2 little nuts on each shock, top of each shock. Then they'll drop right down. So yeah, by tomorrow I might have this thing ready to come out of here. We'll see how it goes. All right. In just a second, it will be tomorrow, and I'll be working on it again.